What's up, y'all? Just wanted to take you on a little virtual tour of my show that's currently up, but not for view to the public, inspired by Crisis. I came up with the title for this show, inspired by Crisis, long before we were aware here in the United States of the pandemic settling upon us, COVID-19. It just happened to be a very strange coincidence that the title of the show and the virus came together to actually close the show. It's not open to the public and won't be. And that is why I've put together this virtual tour. Ever since I was a young child, I have been empathetic towards the natural world, and I've been profoundly affected by humans' impact on the earth. And within the last 15 years, I've had a drive to create conceptual artworks that comment on the overlap of humanity and nature and some of the potential results of that overlap. Some of my pieces are more explicit in their content than others, while some works, like these dragon head mugs, are more just for fun and an exploration of form and function. Although I work primarily in the media of clay, I do employ other materials, metal, glass, resin, stuff like that, to help me achieve my artistic vision. This piece here, which is one of my newest pieces, The Anti-Hero, is made of porcelain and is not mixed media. I modeled it off of an eagle's skull and perched the White House on top. For about the last 6 years, I've focused a lot on the unique process of wood firing, which is a cool firing process where work goes into a large kiln that is fired with wood, like this piece here, Deepwater Horizon. And as the wood ash passes through the kiln and lands on the wares inside, and the kiln is brought up in temperature, the ash melts and creates this awesome surface. Recently, I've been getting back into not using glaze or firing things in the wood kiln and just using porcelain, kind of letting the clay show on its own as a beautiful material, like this piece here, Resolve to Change. I have been referred to as an environmental artist because a lot of the underlying concepts of my work revolve around climate change and environmental degradation. I also like to draw, so occasionally I do these little black and white drawings. Fracosaurus here was one of the first pieces in a few years in a series of using dinosaurs and human detritus to kind of comment on extinction and looking at what a species leaves behind when it's gone. These oil can cups, again, are just kind of fun, accessible, functional collector materials. I've been donating a portion of the proceeds from those to the NRDC. This piece here, Red Hill Ranch, was kind of an experiment in glaze and soda fire. And when I originally took it out of the kiln, I wasn't happy with the finish. But I took it to my sandblaster and sandblasted it, and that helped kind of reveal the cool textures lying underneath the soda glaze that had been covered up. And again, here you can see my use of different glazes. I raku fired the teeth and tusks, which are then glued on or bolted on post-firing. I like to try to use any sort of material to help me achieve my vision, like these carbon kids here, and the wire and the ceramic decals to create those cool little images. These Carbon Kids was a short series I did years ago, just to kind of looking at what we are leaving behind for the next generation. These solo cups here are porcelain clay, I do enjoy making molds and slip casting, and I call them the sustainable solo cups. And again, it's a comment on being a conscious consumer and trying to avoid once-use plastic crap, where you could get one of these and use it for the rest of your life. And again, with the wood-fired little cups here, just my love of the process of wood firing and making a simple object. There's something to be said of just making simple objects after putting so much energy and time into a complex object like a city skull. You can really see the wood fire glaze patterns on these cups here. Thanks for joining us and looking at the show. If you have any questions or comments, you can DM me.